Today I'm going to read the first chapter of I Know What You Did Last Summer. I hope you enjoy it. Chapter 1. The note was on the table when she came down to breakfast. Later, Julie would remember it. Small. Nothing unusual. Her name and address is black across the front of the envelope. But at the time she was only interested in the other letter beside it. Quickly she picked it up, but didn't open it. "It's come," Julie said to her mother. "Well, aren't you going to open it?" asked Mrs. James. "You've been waiting for it long enough." "I guess I'm scared," Julie admitted. "Okay, here goes." She opened the letter and began to read aloud. "Dear Miss James, I am pleased to inform you that you have been accepted." "Oh, honey, how wonderful! I can't believe it. I'm accepted," Julie repeated. "I'm going to Smith." "I'm so proud of you, Julie, and your dad would be proud of you too if he had lived to know about it." "I can't believe it," Julie said. "When I took those tests, I thought I had got so many questions wrong. Now I'm going to your old college. It's your senior year that's made this possible." Her mother said, "You've been a completely different person. Last year, you hardly touched a book and spent half your life practicing as a cheerleader. But after you broke up with Ray..." "Mom, I've told you, Ray and I didn't exactly break up. We just thought we were seeing too much of each other. Then Ray went to California and that was that." Julie suddenly began to feel cold. "But to give up dating so completely..." "I haven't. Bud's coming over tonight. That's a date." "But you haven't known Bud long, and he's older and more serious than Ray." "Somehow I feel you've missed a lot of the fun of your senior year." "Well, you can't have it all," Julie said, standing up from the table. Thinking about Ray still made her feel sad. "I must get ready for school." "But you haven't eaten yet." "I'm sorry," Julie said. "I guess I'm too excited to eat." Julie went up to her room. She could feel that her mother was worrying about her. But she didn't know why Julie had changed so much since last year, and she must never know. Julie's room was the perfect room for a teenage girl who was pretty and loved and happy. A girl who had never had a problem. The walls of the room were pink. It was Julie's favorite color. She had many pink clothes, but the pink blues, which had been new last summer, had never been worn after that night. She sat on her bed and waited for the cold feeling to go away. "It's been almost a year since the thing happened," Julie thought to herself. "It's over. I promised myself I'd never think about that night again. Why did Mom have to talk about Ray? You're going to Smith," she told herself. "You're getting out of this town. You won't keep on seeing Ray's mother or Barry or Helen on TV. You'll be out, free, a new place, new people, new things to do." She would take the letter from Smith to school to show Mr. Price, her English teacher. He'd be happy. And she'd show it to Bud tonight. He'd be impressed, but sorry that she was going away. They had been dating a lot recently. Perhaps he was getting too serious about her. Julie looked at the clock and realized with a shock that she would be late for school. She picked up her books and went down to say goodbye to her mother. Miss James was looking so sad that Julie had put her arms around her mother and hugged her. Her mother hugged her back, surprised and happy. "I ought to hug her more often," she thought. "I love her so much, and I'm all she has since Daddy died." Now she'll soon be alone again. Will you be okay with me far away? Julie asked. I'll be fine. Maybe I go back to work full-time. Miss James had been a teacher before her marriage and had worked part-time since her husband's death. Just look at the time, you're late. Shall I drive you to school? That's all right, Juliet told her. I haven't been late all year, so Mr. Price won't mind if I'm late this morning. I'll see you after school. Bud's not picking me up till around 8 o'clock. Don't forget your letter, honey, called Miss James. I've got it right here, Julie said at the door. Not the letter from Smith, the other one. Julie took the small envelope from her mother's hand and opened it. With a slowly growing horror, she stared at the one black sentence. Her legs felt weak, and she nearly fell. It's a dream, she thought hopefully. I'll wake up in a minute and this piece of paper will be gone. She closed her eyes, and when she opened them, the paper was still there in her hand, with the short sentence on it. I know what you did last summer. End of chapter 2. Chapter 1.